What's up, everyone? Todd Brown, That Racing Show. Thanks for dropping by for this pit stop segment. Once again, not in my regular setting yet, but I am in my office, and it gives you a chance to check out some of my original artwork. I think both these guys right here need no introduction. Some those things I did back in about 94 or so, but yeah, there they are. Some other crazy stuff that I do. Now, obviously, Tony Stewart. He is making the headlines. All the rumors about him possibly selling a couple of his charters, or maybe more. Who knows what's going on there? All the rumors with Denny Hamlin. There's so many aspects to this, and I want to go into all this right now. Now, first of all, we're going to start out with Tony Stewart. Now, Tony has his drag racing that he's heavily involved with right now. His wife is driving in them. He's driving in them. He owns teams. He's got the SRX series. He's got so much going on. And if you look at it, Tony has so many NASCAR people involved with everything that he's going to do and continuing to do with the SRX series that, man, why does he kind of need NASCAR anymore? Because he's having his fun outside of that. And it seems that over the last year or two, it's been a lot of headaches for Tony with everything that's been going on with NASCAR when it relates to him and issues that he's had. So I could see him selling and stepping away. Now, obviously, the 10 car with Eric, Smithfield, all that, I see that being going away. I don't see anybody that could come in with a major sponsor to fill them shoes. So I do kind of see some things probably happening with this. But there's a lot of other questions about Ryan Preece, Chase Briscoe. What's going to go on with everybody? Obviously, Josh Berry was just signed, so he's going to be solid in there. But again, here's Tony. He's putting him in his car, and it's an unknown. So maybe Tony's just ready to step away and just ride off into the sunset, doing his own things and have fun with it. And I would not ridicule the man one bit if he did, because he's contributed so much to the sport and a champion. And, man, I'm just going to say personally, thank you, Tony, for everything that you did for NASCAR if you do step away. Now, the other person right here that's big news this week is obviously Denny Hamlin, because there's contract issues going on. Everybody had already thought this was going to be solidified prior to this, and it's a resemblance of what happened last year with Kyle Busch with the contract issues and sponsors and so many things going into this, except this year, apparently it has a lot to do with whether Toyota will sign with 2311 for the 2024 season. Now, there's been rumors out there, reports that 2311 is already talking to Ford and possibly some other manufacturers, and that seems to be what's holding up Denny Hamlin signing with Joe Gibbs again for 2024, possibly for the rest of his career. But it brings up a lot of questions right now, because what happens if this doesn't work? What happens if Toyota and 2311 do not solidify everything that they got going on? Now, obviously, you've got Legacy Motorsports switching over to Toyota. They're dealing directly with TRD themselves, not doing the affiliate thing like everybody's done in the past with Joe Gibbs. And, this might be something that's just kind of tweaked the, I'm just going to say it, tweaked the nipples of Michael Jordan and said, you know what? You bypassed me and you moved on to somebody else. Maybe time for me to start looking at something else, because I just sold the Charlotte Hornets. I got a bunch of money to put into this, and if you're not going to support me like that and you're going to switch over and go to this team over here who really hasn't had the success that 2311 has. I mean, neither one has been really like topping off the charts, but yet 2311's got a lot there. And so I can see why there's a little conflict there. But let's just look at it this way. What happens if Denny Hamlin does not sign with Joe Gibbs Racing and 2311 goes with Ford? Now, where does that leave Joe Gibbs Racing? Because right now, by all rumors going around, John Hunter Nemechek is going to the 42 car with Legacy Motorsports. Always want to say that because Motor Club just does not sound right to me to start with. So Legacy Motor Club. Let's just set that down, Legacy Motor Club. No, still don't sound right. Anyways, John Hunter Nemechek is supposed to go to the 42 car with Legacy. Well, what happens if Denny does not re-sign in the 11 car? Is Joe Gibbs going to let John Hunter get away to go to the 42 car? Or will he put him in the 11 car? Now, what mix does this do with everything? This changes so many things all around the scenario. Now, you also got to look again back to what if Tony does sell charters. Now, right now, you've got Richard Childress Racing looking for a charter, 2311 looking for a charter, Trackhouse looking for a charter, because obviously they're bringing SBG in. So there's all these different teams looking for charters. So if Stewart does sell 2 charters, that still leaves somebody out of the mix. Now, me personally, I think there's something in the works right now. Because with Austin Hill re-signing with RCR to stay in the Xfinity Series, where everybody knows, in all due rights, he is worthy of a cup ride. But didn't work out. And the 31 car was open this year. The 10 car at one point was open. And there's a lot of questions that I have right here because I think there's something going on. I think there's something going on that none of us know about. That's just kind of a closed capsule between the owners and everybody else. Because I think something's going to change in 2025. I don't really think it's going to happen in 2024, but I think in 2025, something's going to change. And I think this deal with Netflix right now is going to be a catalyst to part of this. And part of that is just going to be that I do believe they're going to expand the charter system because there's so many drivers out there, there's so many teams out there that need charters and they're not there. So I got a lot of questions with everything that's going on right now. Is Tony going to sell? Is 2311 going to Ford? Or does everything just play out the way it's been listed out in the media already, that John Hunter goes to the 42, Denny goes back to the 11, Stewart Haas just keeps racing and keeps the same guys in there, tries to fill somebody into the 10 car. So many questions. And now you have to throw in Colleague Racing, who was announced and said that they got somebody for the 31 car. They haven't said a name yet, but Zane Smith's name has just been running the gamut here lately. Now, obviously, there's so much with Ford with this. Obviously, that's not a Ford team. So a lot of questions right there. They did say you'll be surprised with who their driver is. So, man, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with all of this. Now, the other thing is with Stewart Haas and their Ford connection, that could be parting. And I have so many questions about this right now because also you got to look at Justin Haley signing with Rick Ware Racing, going from Colleague to Rick Ware Racing. He said it was a business decision. So that tells me there's something about the future. There's something long-term here that's going to be really, really good for him. And that makes me just buy into this whole idea that there's something going on that none of us know about, but we're going to find out about because, if you follow my show, I kind of was doing episodes about Rick Ware possibly losing their charter because they were going to fall out of the, you have to be in the top 33 in points every year. If you fall out of the top 33 in points consecutive for 3 years, NASCAR can pull your charter. And I did a big thing on this at the beginning of the year. But Rick Ware has pulled it together. They brought in a lot of different drivers, a lot of different people into that organization. And, they got their RFK connections. They've had Stewart Haas connections, but Stewart Haas drivers getting their deals that Stewart Haas has put together for drivers to come into that car. And I think this is all coming down to manufacturers. I think manufacturers are going to be the decision makers about everything that's going on right now. Because obviously, Rick Ware Racing and Ford got a connection. I think they know something right now that's going to happen in the future. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just sell your charters? Rick Ware's got basically at this point $100 million worth of charters. If you go off the estimates of what the charters are worth, he could sell them, put it into his other racing organizations and step away. But he's not. And that leads me to the question of why would Tony Stewart do this if there's not something going on? Anyways, I hope everybody's going to enjoy the racing this week. Got so much happening here. Is Chase going to make it? Is Bubba going to get in? So many cool things are going to play out this weekend. And man, I'm just going to tell you, this is what makes me love racing so much. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to see what's going to happen. Anyways, I hope everybody out there is having a great week. And as always, we'll see the checkered flag. And maybe get some answers to some of these questions soon.